Thanks for tuning in again from the many lessons that you're going to receive from Mr. TMG. I am the marketing guru, here to bring you some revelation for your situation, not just information. So if you want to learn more lessons on different topics and subjects for you to develop and build your mind, go to my YouTube channel, Ron Harness, I am TMG. Look me up on Instagram and follow me, Ron Harness, I am TMG. Click the subscribe button so that you will receive every new teaching, training, video, motivation that I put out. I want you to be the first one to receive it. So go do it right now. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next piece of revelation that you're going to get. That's going to bring transformation to your situation. What's up, TMG family? Now, we've already talked about the first few skills of identifying prospects and inviting them to learn more about your product and your opportunity. And now, as you've learned, you'll be inviting them to review a tool or to attend some sort of event or virtual webinar. Now, if they're doing this by themselves and you're not around, there's nothing for you to do. Just follow up when you said you would. Now, if you're physically with them, there's some things that you truly need to understand. And one of the biggest is you are not the issue. Say it with me. I am not the issue. Now, this was a tough one for me to accept in the beginning. When I first got started, I read everything that I could. I listened to everything that I could. And I attended every training session that I could. Now, I thought the most important that I could actually do was to become an expert about all the facts associated with my company. Now, if anyone asking me anything, I wanted to be the guy like, I know the answers. Sounds logical, right? But no, it's not. I wanted to sit down with someone and say, let me tell you all about our products. Let me tell you all about our company. Let me tell you all about our compensation plan. Let me tell you about all the things that we do in the incredible support system. Now, here's the big problem with that approach. If you want to build a large and successful organization. The first problem is this. No matter how much you learn, there's still going to be questions that will stump you. And since I was presenting myself as the expert in those situations. If I got stumped, that would probably make the prospect question the whole opportunity. The second problem was most of my prospects knew I wasn't an expert just yet. So when I came to them and presented myself as the authority figure, they knew it wasn't true. And it made them more skeptical about the opportunity or the product. And here's the third problem. Even if I was successful at becoming an expert, the other people in my organization probably didn't have the necessary desire or the willingness to learn to be an expert. So as a result, you may become the go-to guy for every single presentation and every single question. And there's no way to create an organization that would duplicate with this approach. And without duplication, network marketing is just a job. Early in my career, that's what this marketing business was for me. Just a job. And here's why. Because I had no duplication. Because I made myself the issue. But I was truly determined, and I actually started to observe and take careful notes on how the most successful distributors truly did their presentations. See, I recognize that the pros never made themselves the issue. More than that, they've never presented themselves as an expert. They acted as a consultant, connecting the prospect to tools, events, or other distributors to help them become educated. Now, if the prospect asked a question, they would guide them to the answer, but they never would give the answer directly. Now that blew my mind until I really started to comprehend duplication. See, the professionals knew they could sign the person up by dazzling them with all the knowledge and experience that they had, but they also knew that it would take a very long time for a new distributor to duplicate that process. So they came up with a simpler approach. It was around this time where I actually heard a concept that has stuck with me since that moment. In the network marketing business, it doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. Now, this should be something that you engraft into your mind. See, here's what I learned. The marketing gurus, they use tools instead of their own wisdom. They use live events instead of their own presentations. They use other distributors to give the facts instead of giving the facts themselves. The marketing gurus don't present themselves as experts. They just invite people to learn more about the product or the opportunity, and they let the third-party resource provide the information. See, they bring passion, they bring enthusiasm, they bring excitement and belief. Now, if you ever watch a marketing guru at work, you'll see that fire in them that's contagious. See, make passion, enthusiasm, excitement, and belief your priority, and then invite professionally and let the third-party resource do the rest of the work. Now, in addition to learning how to effectively present your product or service during your personal recruiting efforts, it's also important to learn how to present your opportunity to groups of people. I've heard it said this, and I think it's true. The person with the marker makes the money. In other words, the person that's in front of the room giving the presentation usually has a higher than average income. Now, when I first got started, and I was deadly afraid of speaking in front of people, but I was ambitious, and since everyone had said that this was an important skill to learn, I was super determined to master it. I started by learning how to give a very short and effective testimonial. See, learning to tell my story was extremely valuable in building my business and has been to this day. Now, people are not interested in how much you know, but they are interested in your story. But as long as you don't bore them to death with it. See, I worked on my story for a while, but after tweaking it 1 or 2 times, here's what I came up with. Hi, my name is Ron Harness. I was a gifted underachiever. I graduated from my college with a PhD. Yep, you heard it, PhD. Poor, hungry, and determined. See, after that, I jumped right into the job market. But I only found out that I actually entered the rat race of trading time for dollars. Now, I knew that I wanted to run my own business, but I lacked the knowledge and I lacked the capital. I knew I had the skills to talk to people, but that was it. I had no marketing experience, no business experience, no financial literacy, and very little life experience. So I recognized that by the age of 25, I had over 25 jobs, and I started to think that my future didn't look good. I was super embarrassed by my lack of results and my growth, and I really wanted something to change my life. Then I was introduced to network marketing, and I was super skeptical. Why? Because I knew other people that were not successful or that failed at it. But I really wasn't going to let their experience determine my outcome. So guess what I did? I gave it my best shot, dumped in head first. Instead of being afraid of my future now, I'm 100% in control and super excited because I now know that with applying the maximum effort and time, I was able to achieve the goal of establishing $2,000 of residual income right now. And I'm looking to double that this year, at least 4 times with 5 people. See, the theme of my story was, if I could do it, anybody could do it. And it worked. I use it all the times in home meetings, on webinars, conference calls, 3-way phone calls. No matter what your background is, you can craft a compelling personal story. I found that every good story has 4 elements. Number 1, your background. Number 2, the things that you didn't like about your background. Number 3, how network marketing or your company came to the rescue. And number 4, your results or how you feel about your future. Now, I want you to take some time and create your story and start telling it every chance you get. The next thing is decide to master your company's opportunity presentation. That's the concept of modeling successful people. That came into play for me. See, the top earner in my company was extremely powerful and effective. In addition, he did the exact same presentation every single time, just about word for word. So that's what I did. I recorded it and transcribed it by hand onto a notepad. Now, once I completed that step, I actually recorded my own voice doing that presentation, and I did it word for word. Same story, same jokes. Everything was his exact presentation. I think I listened to that presentation probably about 100 times. And by that time, I had it memorized. See, I knew that thing backwards and forwards. I can start from any part of the presentation and take it from there. You would not believe the confidence that this actually gave me. I went from being afraid to do the presentation to actively looking for any opportunity I can to give it. I mean, I did this thing on Zoom calls, three-way calls, in-home meetings. Any place I could find, I became a regular presenter. And I did this at local meetings and continued to move up to bigger and better venues, even being asked to speak at some of the conventions. Now, for me, the evolution of becoming a presenter went through several stages. Now, let me go over those stages with you. 1, learning my story. 2, learning the standard opportunity presentation. And number 3, learning different training presentations. So to summarize this skill set, remember a few important things. 1, when you're prospecting, you're the messenger, not the message. Get yourself out of the way and use a third-party tool. Number 2, learn to tell stories in a way that'll make your prospects curious to hear more. And number 3, when it comes to presenting in front of a group of people, preparation is truly the key. When you're prepared, it's fun.